Hello, my name is Haley Edwards.
I'm Dave Prohaska.
Hi, my name is Allison. The title of our norm violation video is Breaking Social Barriers. A folkway is a standard of behavior that is socially approved but not morally significant. It differs from a more because they are considered norms of morality based on definitions of right and wrong. It also differs from laws because it is not formally written down or enforced by governing bodies. In today's experiment, the folkway we have chosen to violate is talking to strangers while also invading their personal space. Our hypothesis is that people will feel uncomfortable, and we anticipate their reaction to be awkward and unwelcoming.
Hi, my name is Gabriella Schifano. We chose to break our folkway in the library. The library is part of education, and it is a part of a social institution because there are a web of norms and values, beliefs and functions, and interaction centered on a basis social needs of people. When you come to a library, people are typically using the computers, reading books, and using the available space to study. So it's quiet. We broke this norm by going up to people and entering into their personal space and talking to them. Each person in the group, we broke the norm 5 times each. So I see a guy over there who's working quietly by himself. I'm going to go invade his personal space. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing? Good. What are you, what's going on?
Just reading the news.
You got coffee?
Yes.
Okay, see? Oh my god, what is that? What kind?
Cafe mocha.
Oh. That tastes great.
I know it does.
Oh. Thank you.
You wanna buy me
You?
another coffee
Okay, that's
now?
good.
Okay, you can see one lady over here doing her work and studying, and I'm going to go over there and invade her personal space.
Because it's illegal. We don't have break laws here.
Stressing about this.
I mean, is it bothering you?
Yes, because my work is higher than I am.
Alright, I see this guy over here, he's doing some studying, and we're gonna go invade his personal space, and maybe steal his hoverboard. What you working on? None of your business. You know, this your hoverboard? Yes. No. You trying it out? No, you can't try it. Try it out? No. That's what you working on? You can't see this. Why can't I? What you doing? What you doing? I'm trying to tell you what you doing. Why you invading my space? Is that not okay? That's not okay. What? But this is not. I don't know what that. No. Okay, sure.
Okay, as you can see, I'm going to go walk into the study room with these young females, and I'm going to interrupt their study session by interrupting one of their personal space.
There was general social patterns that existed when we were breaking the norms. There was generally an uncomfortable and unease between everybody involved in breaking the social norm. It felt as though it was wrong, as we've usually experienced the regular things in our day-to-day lives. It doesn't occur commonly. The women were more passive and more willing to accept the norm and the situation that was going on, rather than the men being more aggressive and not understanding the situation, who were more likely to push the person away and didn't want to be involved. There was little to no attempts to try and become friends or see what the person was doing with some of the situations.
After completing the norm violation, we saw that we could relate a lot of the sociological concept that we've been discussing in class to the social world that we saw around us, all ranging from statuses to roles and even applying a functionalist theory to what we actually did in the library. Starting with the students and who we chose to take as our participants, all of them had an achieved role of a college student. Many of them were ascribed roles of being a daughter or son. However, they had achieved the status of being in college, and we chose them to be our subjects in this project. We also looked back at our notes and saw that we could relate this to a functionalist theory where we created dysfunction in the library by breaking these social norms. We created dysfunction by actively causing disruptiveness in the library. We basically took what the library has and what it stands for, where it's supposed to be quiet and people can come and do their work, and we created a dysfunction by interrupting people's time and invading their personal space. The manifest outcomes that we expected from doing the norm violation were for our participants to feel uncomfortable and at ease, not at ease, but to feel a little awkward. Our unintended or latent outcomes were with the video where the girl started laughing hysterically, or some people were even friendly. We didn't really expect anyone to be as open or kind to us from after doing the video.
My experience violating a social norm was actually very uncomfortable. I was very apprehensive to go up to a complete stranger and invade their personal space because I know how I personally would respond to being in that scenario, and I wasn't looking forward to receiving that response. But my fears didn't come true. I didn't get a negative response from the person that I violated the norm to. I feel like people tend to shy away from violating the social norms that we've been socialized into because they don't know what the outcomes would be. They can't predict it, and so it makes them feel awkward or uncomfortable, and I feel like that's why people shy away from doing so. This just goes to prove that the power of social norms are so extreme because we do a lot of things and act a certain way just because we're scared of how others might react to it, and we're socialized into thinking we need to follow the rules and do this and do that as everybody else does it. And I feel like that's also the reason why some people choose not to follow social norms, because they want to be their own person and feel free and not confined into guidelines set forth to them by some outside force.
Violating the social norm for me was difficult because it was embarrassing to, go up to a stranger and just start a conversation on top of being in their personal space. I know that in China, there's no such thing as personal space. They're very close to one another, whereas in America, we believe in personal space. So doing it was a little uncomfortable for me. And I think that it goes to show that social norms are so powerful because of the embarrassment and standing out, and being that first one to talk, that's why it's embarrassing for people, so we don't tend to make the first move, I guess.
My personal reflection on breaking the norm is I felt very uncomfortable. It was a situation I didn't want to be a part of. I would definitely choose to not handle myself in a situation like that, and I would not want to. I would try to escape that situation as quick as possible. I felt very uneased at how aggressive he became, at how I invaded his personal space, and I felt very weird invading his personal space to such an extent. And it's definitely something I would not want to continue doing commonly.
After completing the norm violation, I now understand the importance of our everyday life and the norms, values, and rituals that we have instilled in us based off of our primary and secondary social institutions. I really felt uncomfortable going up to people and invading their personal space because if it was me, I would not feel open or comfortable with anybody doing that to me.